Do men really have it more difficult on dating apps? Today I'm gonna watch a video. It's 4 years old, but I think it's still relevant to today's society. Basically, this guy goes and does a Tinder experiment and provides his data back on how his experience was. It's uploaded by a channel called Wheat Waffles, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna provide my commentary and then explain how Kova was built to avoid these common mistakes that legacy dating apps make. Kova is a live video dating app. It completely eliminates many negative experiences that people go through on legacy dating apps purely because of how the foundation of the app. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video here. Here we go.
Guys, online dating is like trying to find water in a desert for men and supermarket shopping for women. In this video, I'm going to show you the results of a Tinder experiment of an average, maybe even above average guy. And by the end, I'll prove just how bad these apps have gotten and just how much the odds are stacked against you as a man. Anyway, this is our male subject, and here's a few.
So I think part of it is like we got to get out of this mindset that the world is against us, that we can't do this because it's not our fault. We have to take ownership of it, right? I've made videos on how dating profiles are essentially resumes, right? And if you have a shitty resume, you're not going to get a job. So if you have a shitty dating profile, you're not going to get a date. Um, but beyond that, it's very, very difficult. It's like going for a job at the top company where there's thousands of applicants. The only problem is in the dating world, there's thousands of women in your area that are this top echelon company, when in reality there should only be a handful. It should be a small percentage, but every woman is getting that experience. Let's go.
More photos. To give a little bit of background, this man is actually an article writer who I've been chatting to on Instagram recently, and he's made a kind allowance for me to use the data he's collected off his own Tinder profile for this video. He describes himself as average looking, maybe even a bit above. I'd largely agree with this and think he falls somewhere around the 6 out of 10 range. He's from Canada, which is where he still lives, and is based in a medium-sized city of 1 million people. He's 22 years old. He ran the experiment for 4 months, and as shown by the thumbnail, he made over 16,000 swipes. There's
16,000 swipes. What's the math on that? 16,000 swipes for 117 days. Assuming he swiped every single day, 117 days, 141 swipes a day. That's too much.
two more things that are noteworthy. One, he purchased Tinder Gold, which, for anyone who doesn't know, is a paid version of Tinder that gives certain bonuses and makes your profile shown more in the card stack. And two, he's fairly tall, 6'3" to be precise. I found this very noticeable by looking at how often he towers over people in his pictures.
Holy shit. Dude, that dude is tall. Oh my God, he's tall. That's like one thing that women always say, they want a tall guy.
So this factor will likely have influenced his results. Now let's get to the profile itself. He used 3 pictures on his account. The first, just him with a dog. The second, a holiday picture in front of what I believe to be a frozen waterfall. And lastly, just a basic photo sitting down with a clear view of his face. As for the bio, real basic. The name of his university, which I can't say in the video. With base 44, a simple sentence becomes your
Ads.
his height, of course, because why wouldn't you if you're 6'3"? And then just a few hobbies he takes part in, like snowboarding and hiking.
Okay, so already this guy's profile is pretty good. He he's very active, hiking, snowboarding, wakeboarding, boating, very active, very outdoors. He's got a dog in his picture that usually goes over well. So I expect him to have a great experience on dating apps.
Last two things, his age preferences were set from 18 to 25, and his maximal allowable range was set to the max of 100 kilometers. So, without wasting any more time, now let's get to the actual results. Again, over the course of 4 months, he swiped a grand total of 16,000 times.
That's
Of
too
these
much.
16,000, he swiped right or liked a little under 8,000, which means he swiped left or disliked roughly the same amount, giving a like rate of 47.3%. Pretty much half and half.
So he actually used the apps how they're intended to be used, like actually choosing who he's swiping on versus I think most men these days just swipe right nonstop and they don't even know who they're swiping right on. Or they know for a fact they wouldn't really actually talk to that person. And the reality of it is because when they do match, they unmatch almost instantly. Like this is a very common experience. So I think he actually put some effort into who he was liking.
Now, for the nearly 8,000 women he liked, here's the kicker: just 290 of them matched. So the other 7,000 or whatever didn't. They either did not think he was good enough or they simply didn't see him.
That's insane. That is an insane number.
This is an abysmally low 3.7% match rate. And if we
3.7% match rate. Oh, for 117 days. He didn't even get a. Oh my gosh.
average this figure out over the entire duration of the experiment, we find he's grappling with just 2.5 matches per day. Now on to message conversation.
Now, I will say 2.5 matches a day. So what I'm so surprised about is the actual uh like to match ratio. But you hope that these 290 matches are quality matches. You don't want to waste your time on 8,000 matches if you can't even like get a date with them or they're not even what you're looking for. So hopefully these 290 matches are actually quality.
Of the 290 women he matched with, 99 of them had at least one message being sent or received, 87 of which he made the first move, while the remaining 12 had the woman opening on him. Which is actually pretty good, given the fact that most women never ever ever reach out with the first message on dating apps. Either way, this shows 191 of his matches served absolutely no purpose besides collecting dust as nothing got initiated.
That's the problem. So out of 290 matches, 191 matches did nothing. A waste of time because he had to swipe on them. They swiped on him, and yet no, like, what? Number one, why didn't he reach out? Right? If he swipes on somebody and he liked them, and she liked them back, why didn't he reach out? Maybe this goes back to actually, I'm not as interested as I thought. Um, but again, you're narrowing it down to hopefully you're getting quality dates, right? Like you're going down the funnel to where you actually have dates. I would say most men don't even get these numbers, right? Out of 117 days, it would likely take years to maybe never for an average guy to actually get this. I don't think he's average. I think he's above average. So for an average guy to actually get these numbers in today's 2026 dating apps, it's not likely.
However, if I'm honest, I think our subject could have done a little better here. I think if he
Yeah.
messaged at least 250 of his 290 matches, he'd still have a pretty large funnel to work with before going into trying to arrange dates. And this still gives a fairly large allowance of 40 for any women he swiped on by mistake or took another look at their photos after matching and found they weren't as attractive compared to his first glance. Anyway, carrying on with his 99 messages. Right off the bat, 31, that's almost a third, either left him on read or never even opened his initial message.
So this is a major problem, and this is Kova aims to eliminate this. The ghosting. If you both like each other, why are you not talking to each other at the very minimum? Why did you swipe on him if you didn't actually like him? Same with him. Why did you swipe on 8,000 people, but you didn't message at least 250 like the video said? This is again. We're wasting our time across the board. We're wasting our time with on these dating apps. Even when you get matches, a good chunk of them just go unanswered, go, unread.
leaving just 68 conversations for him to work with. Then, of these 68, a further 40 women ghosted him after a short message exchange.
These apps have made it so easy to ghost people because there's hundreds in line and all you have to do is just not respond. The other thing is sometimes when women, like, especially, have hundreds or thousands of likes and matches, their inbox gets full, right? And so even if you're having a good conversation, I imagine what ends up happening is overnight, even, she gets new matches, which pushes you down the line to the point where she would have to scroll and try to find your conversation. Kova, you can only have five matches. You can only have five matches at a time. So if you have five matches, and what ends up happening is the app almost becomes unusable. All you can it's At that point it's just a messaging app. You can talk to your five matches and that's it. If you want to actually use the functionality again, you have to unmatch somebody, you have to move on. And then even then, I'm building out a feature where when you unmatch someone, my goal is that you provide some feedback because that will go in deeper to the algorithm to provide better matching. So it will improve the matching algorithm.
Our subject also gave up on 17 conversations himself, which leads him being left with just 11 phone numbers where
So giving up on 17 conversations, I've been there, I've done that, where in my experience, it's like this person doesn't really show interest. They respond to my messages, they answer my questions, but they are not interested in who I am as a person. And I think a lot of people experience that because it's like you're trying to vet this person, yet you're not curious of who they are, or what they do, or what, you know what I mean? So obviously you're not interested and you're just responding to messages for whatever reason, but then you typically what happens is I'm like, whatever, they're not interested, I'm moving on, you know.
he can carry on texting over WhatsApp or iMessage. Finally, of these last 11, after all of this effort, after 4 months of painstakingly swiping over 100 times a day, every day, our guy was rewarded with just 3 dates.
So out of thousands, 16,000 swipes, 3 dates, 16,000 swipes, 3 dates. Oh my gosh. How is that not a horrible experience? 3 dates in the matter of half a year, pretty much 4 months, almost half a year, a quarter almost. Oh,
So, as for the other 8 girls, they either gave up on texting, declined his date offer, or simply never turned up. Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
oh my gosh.
Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay, I picked. And just to be clear, there is no silver lining to this man's efforts. None of his 3 days materialized into anything long term. So, besides some dating experiences and a reminder of the futility of online dating as a man, we can safely say that this whole ordeal had been a complete waste of time.
Waste of time. And that is the reality of dating apps today. If you're doing this now, if you're using Tinder now, you're spending, and you're not getting these numbers, right? I know there's people out there that get nothing, but all this effort for nothing. And the reality of it is, people are experiencing this for years. So you're spending all this money for years, and the matching algorithm on these legacy apps, they're not made to match you with somebody, and find somebody that's compatible with you. They're made to keep you on the app paying. So let's continue.
One more time, the results in short form. Of his 8,000 likes, just 3.7% matched.
Ugh.
Of this 3.7%, he got numbers from again 3.7%. And of this 3.7%, a little over a quarter led to actual dates, for which finally a grand total of 0% led to anything long term.
Just pause on the screen here because in business, any of these numbers in any sort of business would be atrocious. Like it would be layoffs, cut costs. Oh my God. But in our dating life, we accept it as this is the norm. And again, I guarantee other people are having worse numbers. This is horrible. What a horrible experience.
Anyway, that's the experiment, and now for the remainder of the video, I'm going to be analysing these results and telling you what the key takeaways should be. But before I do that, if you appreciate the time it's taken to prepare this data and explain it in an easily digestible way, then now is a good time to press the like button and leave any thoughts you have in the comments below so far, as it helps the YouTube algorithm. Now on to the analysis. First, you've probably heard the term hypergamy being thrown around quite a lot on various channels specializing in dating. Well, let's set a few things straight about our guy used in the experiment. For anyone who doesn't know, hypergamy is the idea that women only want to date up, particularly in terms of looks, height, status, job, wealth, lifestyle, social circle, and so on. Well, when we take a look at our guy, he literally ticks all the boxes. And I'm not saying any of this to blow smoke so you can leave your weak waffles as a sim comments elsewhere. This is simply making a point. We've established he's average to slightly above average in the face. He's 6'3". He's college educated. He has a reasonable status job of being an article writer. It's clear from his expensive hobbies such as snowboarding and boating he's been raised in a family of the middle wealth bracket at the very least, possibly even upper. These hobbies also tie in with showing he has a good lifestyle, and lastly, it's clear from his Instagram he has a good social circle too. Therefore, in theory, given all these things, it should be that he satisfies the hypergamy of the vast majority of girls out there. As a matter of fact, in the title of this video, I used the words average guy Tinder experiment. However, in reality, this guy is anything but average. He has better than average points in every category. Yet despite this, 96.3% of women out there did not match with this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I mean, the video goes on, but I was just curious to look at all these stats. I mean, he's right. This guy is above average, and yet zero long term. The percentages are horrible. So why do you think it is? Why do you think that while all these check boxes here, he checked almost every box, and even when you talk to women in your life, everything that they ask for, he essentially checks. Why did he not have anybody long term? It's a mind blowing reality. All I can say is what I think it is because women especially are constantly fed hundreds, if not thousands of likes. And so when you have options like that, your mind almost plays games with you thinking, well, the next person will be better. The next person will be perfect, right? We're always chasing the next bigger, better thing. But in reality, the grass isn't always green on the other side. And what Kova does to fix this dating scene is it rewards genuine conversations, right? You're not going to have, you don't even see profiles. You log on, you go live, and you're given somebody that matches your core values and what you're looking for in life, right? They have a, there's a matching algorithm that will find someone that is the best match for you in the match pool, and then you talk. You're not going to see profiles. You're not going to see hundreds. You're not going to receive likes. There's no likes. Likes don't exist on Kova. So if you're looking for a genuine relationship, a genuine partner in life, that's where you come to Kova. You don't need all these likes. What you need is a curated match. Here, Kova basically says we've looked at all the applicants and we think this is the best person for the job, right? And then you have that conversation. And then you determine if you want to continue with this person. And you can only have 5 matches, so you can't entertain hundreds of people.